This is Total Disruption Boardroom Battleground, where bold entrepreneurs step up and they put their businesses to the test.
Over the next 12 weeks, we'll push our contestants beyond their limits in branding, marketing, leadership, strategy, scalability, and profitability.
Every decision they made, every single breakthrough, every single struggle, captured, analyzed, and then broadcast across all the platforms.
Every move counts. Every misstep, a crucial lesson. Every victory, a moment to shine.
That's where our expert team of elite coaches come in. Really push our competitors harder, demand more, break those bad habits, and put those strategies in place.
Behind the scenes, our world-class production team will showcase their business like never before. The kind of exposure most entrepreneurs chase for years, served up right here in real time.
In the end, a single superstar is going to rise above the rest.
The rest will walk away with battle-tested strategies, a stronger business, and lessons of a lifetime, scars and all.
Not to mention a whole arsenal of promotional videos and materials in their back pocket.
Get ready, because this is as real as it gets, folks. This is Total Disruption.
Boardroom Battleground.
Welcome back to Boardroom Battleground. I'm Dr. Jay Clendenning. I'm a brand strategist, mindset architect, and your compass through the chaos of identity.
And I'm Michael Libercci, execution expert, reality check specialist, and thrilled that we're no longer looking at spreadsheets and revenue charts. Yawn.
So last time was all about long-term revenue plans. Today we're going to step into something a little deeper. Branding. It's the soul of your business.
Sure, they'll touch on colors and logos, but this challenge goes beyond the surface. It's about voice, presence, purpose, and what you stand for. Can your audience feel it?
Each contestant is going to refine how they show up visually, verbally, and emotionally.
If your brand needs a paragraph to explain itself, you've already lost their attention.
And as always, the boardroom is watching closely. They're going to evaluate each entrepreneur based on those 4 key criteria areas. Their execution, are they bringing their brand to life in real ways? Their growth, are they connecting, expanding their audience? Strategy, is the branding intentional? Is it aligned? Is it scalable? And their leadership, are they fully stepping into the face of their business?
It's not about being the loudest, it's about being the most clear. Let's find out who gets seen and who ducks underneath the table.
There are so many reasons why I chose Upbeat Performing Arts as our name and our logo. It's something that I thought about for months before I finally settled on a name. For one, I wanted us to convey positivity and how we have great attitudes here and we work hard and we're positive and everything is going to work out. I think in today's society there's a lot of anxiety going around and life can seem kind of dark at times. So I wanted us, anytime anyone thought of us, I wanted them to think positivity, happiness, music, an outlet. So that's the first reason why I chose Upbeat as our name. The other is it's related to music. The Upbeat is otherwise known as the offbeat. When you think of music, there's the downbeat, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. But all of the things that are exciting happen on the upbeat, on the offbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Anything exciting in jazz happens. Most music in jazz, most things in jazz happen on the upbeat because jazz likes to be innovative and expressive and out of the box.
When I was choosing our logo, I also chose our company colors, which are teal, orange, and yellow. When I looked into color theory, it said that teal is a color that promotes calmness. And I wanted that to be a part of our company to help people feel comforted by Upbeat Performing Arts and have music be a calm part of their day, as well as orange and yellow, which is excitement and happiness and joy.
The reality is she's got the skills, Mike. She's got the talent. She's got the building. She's got the people that believe in her. She just has to believe in herself. And all the other stuff. So all the stuff that she's coming up with, all the stuff she's talking about, it's all smoke.
So at Upbeat, part of our brand is really caring for the customer and making sure that we have a really good one-on-one relationship from teacher to student.
We need to get hold of her directly and get her organized in terms of the thought process and a system, because I don't feel like she trusts her system. And I feel like her lead gen, her acquisition, retention processes, somewhere her expenses are high, somewhere her acquisition is low, somewhere there's no trust.
So being able to get outreach to be able to find students that have never heard of us before, don't know anything about us, and have our brand be so well known that they're like, oh yes, Upbeat Performing Arts, they're good people, they're kind people. And I know this because X, Y, and Z. That's kind of what I need help with, is I need to know how to reach people who've never heard of us, don't know our brand, and for our brand to reach so well that they just know who we are and what we do.
I want her to win this thing, and I want her to win. I want her to buy this building. I want her to feel good about herself. That's a win.
I think there's a little bit of youth in this one too, right? She doesn't know what she doesn't know yet. She hasn't been, this is her first real business, big venture.
Hopefully when we get large enough, I would love to have them as two sort of separate branches of the same tree, all with me at the top, but my little roots going down and helping me manage everything, keeping our brand alive, keeping the relationships alive, and being able to provide high quality recitals and performances for everybody.
She's got such potential, such skill, and she's got such passion. That's her brain. That's who she is. She just isn't trusting her personal brain.
And one of the things that I teach on that I'm super big on is your story. I think your story is the foundation of your personal brand. Your story is what connects you to people.
I mean, we started to get together on the speaking tour thing because that's if I was running at full authority branding as opposed to marketing branding, and I could just think my utopia would be a room full of people who I present this to once and I leave with 10 client signatures, right? And 10 people sign up, and I'm doing that maybe once a month. And that's the extent of it. This requires the Donnie interaction, I think, to really be functional. They still need me. Right now, I'm trying to change that. But right now, I'm the best provider of information about what the system does. I hope to extract myself from that eventually, but that's kind of where we are. And if I could do a one-to-many presentation more consistently with, butts are in the seats already, and the marketing system is filling those seats consistently.
So the signature talk, just to clarify so you guys all understand, this is a marketing tool and a strategy to generate quality leads for your business that would be predictable and repeatable. And it would be more on the marketing, not on like the selling.
When you're growing a personal brand, it is very difficult for somebody that is seen as a professional to show up authentic, to show up real, especially when you're in transition. And so he ended up being really transparent and honest, which I think is something that people might want to know about or hear about. But it's a challenge when you're a business owner or an entrepreneur and you've come across a certain way for so long, or you've shown up a certain way for so long, to kind of like show that deeper side. And so I think that that's an amazing opportunity for him. And he seems open to that too.
The social media is really designed now to keep that good guy branding first and foremost in the minds of the local consumer. I don't know if that's quite as important on the national level, but I would prefer my clients are based here because the houses we're doing are largely here.
I don't think that you've built a personal brand, right? People are going to spend the kind of money you're trying to charge and believe in the results you're offering if they don't know who you are, right? Like Grant Cardone, hate him or love him, but everyone knows who he is. He's Mr. 10X, right? But if you don't have personal branding, and if you're just trying to do what's worked for other people's in years past, I'd suggest maybe trying something drastically different.
He came out of a couple different statements that talked about how many houses he sold, and then he said it doesn't matter if your life sucks. I got to be honest with you, when he said that in one of our previous episodes.
It doesn't matter how much money you're making. It kind of, are you enjoying the ride? And we weren't. So now we're trying to enjoy the ride. Last 2 years have been really tough because the real estate market has been much less than cooperative, but we are optimistic for, 25 holds and hoping to pivot some of the income to the coaching side, so we're not as dependent on real estate as we have been.
To me, it took my vision of Donnie, transformed it completely.
Tough part is when you lose really good people because their values simply don't align with your personal brand.
It's hard, and Donnie, you know firsthand that I ruffle people's feathers sometimes.
Really? I've never noticed that about you.
And why? Because I ask questions. I hold people accountable. But you know, we are evaluated on our actions, not our words.
Authority building right now, I think, is the biggest takeaway from this. Because there are so many charlatans, especially in the real estate education space. I think the more branding I can do as one of the good guys in the industry, the more effective my marketing is going to be as a result.
Quick backstory: my wife and I flipped over 400 houses right here in the Colorado Springs market, with our best years being 2020, where we did 40 flips, 21, where we did 47 flips, and 2022, where we completed 45 flips on our way to 60.
Donnie was putting on a face. He didn't want to be personally attached to the stigma. So he wasn't willing to be vulnerable in the personal brand because he didn't want to be lumped into that societal constraint of the stigma. He didn't want to be thrown in that group. So he kind of had his gloves up, right? He was kind of blocking the whole time.
Building a brand that's authentic, that's real, that in the highs and lows, people will stick with you because they love Donnie's story. They're interested in you and your wife and your marriage and what you're up to and your kids. And that's what people want to connect with. And that's what we're going to be talking about.
I really want to get involved in more of that because I think that is the long-term future of this, is that I'm just a personal brand, but a huge personal brand that makes a lot of money from the personal brand. I think I'm in that in between. I got to create that personal brand right now with the successes from the system.
Focus on building that brand. And I guarantee and promise you that as you focus on that, the sales will come.
He put his gloves down and immediately got profitable. Immediately got business because he started connecting with the people that connect with him.
Where's your mindset on branding for you? Because it's not like you had to come up with a new logo, but you still have to figure out how to brand your business and yourself to the industry or the market that you're looking for.
I think it'd be like a no-brainer. Like, I found this magical patch that, helps you with pain and all these other wonderful things. But then people just aren't interested like you thought they would be. But to not give up and to rebrand it and have that light come through you in a different way has been, I guess it's in a process of rebranding myself of who I am and what might be better, not come across better to people, but be more genuine in who I am deep down, and then that I can portray that to others as well.
Jake, I have a killer burn back, like a moment. Episode 6. This is so awesome. Emily flipped the script. I mean, it's not scripted, but she flipped the script on Chad, and it was like bang.
Focus more on the education piece of what financials are, what are the components, how to use it better. What do we, instead of just saying this is how profitable we are, if you put these numbers in here, because that doesn't really have a lot of meaning to people to be able to make decisions to drive their business forward.
You got to see Emily and to see her like that. Again, you want to talk about building brand, it builds brand. You've left the MLM stigma. Again, we're talking about stigma. You leave that MLM, wait to sell me stigma, and you become a human being. And not only that, you become like a human being that showing your superpower.
I think nothing against what he's done is great. I just don't think it fits what I'm doing. It fits with Mark really well.
What happened in that moment was Emily got it. Emily figured it out in that moment to where she'd heard it her whole professional life. Money, accounting. And she finally said, you know what? It doesn't matter. You don't get the other stuff figured out. None of these sheets mean a thing unless you understand what the money represents.
Have that brand of the company to stand behind that I connected with and was part of who I am and the beliefs. So that made it easy to attach on to something that was already built but making it my own. Like you said, people I mean, with this, it's kind of different because, you know, they can go to any LifeWave distributor and buy LifeWave, but I'm not going to care. And I'm still going to, you know, help them and answer their questions. And because it's at the end of the day, it's about making that person better, feel better, or, you know, get rid of their pain.
She's very passionate. She's got a story, but she hasn't connected the dots. I think she turned the corner, but that's what I want to sit down with her to put the right words together. Because when she was sharing on her first coaching call, I wanted to coach her on it was, you know, it was a case of, well, what do you do? Well, I do this, and I help heal, and I also help people make money part-time if they're interested. That's a very red flag these days, right? That's so like 80s, 90s. Oh my God, you know, no, Tupperware.
Create some of your own things. I mean, right there is another catalyst. Create your own course, create your own thing that you can move forward and show the world who you are even more. That sort of coincides with the tool you're selling, or it's completely in another direction or an evolution of it, right? I mean, you never know where your journey's going to end up if you're branding yourself like she should be.
But I'm just seeing you share a lot of other people's content, which is okay. But I would say my challenge for you would be to own your message and share, like, I want to see stuff from you in regards to you're comfortable sharing about your family and the rodeo. And I think that's great. But if you really want your business to grow, it doesn't come across clear to me about the stem cell, and not even the product, but like your message, you is not coming across on your social media.
Mark, where are you at as far as branding? You know, you got the logo, you're getting out there. You know, I know we've been really getting in about what does empowerment mean. I just asked you to send me your list of what goes into what's the recipe to your leadership consulting. So please.
I've mentioned this multiple times. I've been very lucky that I've had 8 years to really build a brand foundation. And I would say wouldn't even use the word brand. I would use the word reputation. Like, what is the reputation which goes into the brand for the company? And you're 100% right. And it took me a while to understand this. And it's from the feedback I got from clients is they're loyal to the company. I've been using just word of mouth. I've been doing a lot of advertising for the last 8 years, because one of the reasons is I didn't want to grow too fast and we outrun our headlights, and then our product suffers because I'm still working for the Army. I'm still deploying. My instructors are still deploying. So we were very intentional on staying smaller over the last 8 years, building a good brand, you know, knowing what our logo looks like, and, you know, people with t-shirts on saying, oh yeah, I've trained with Mark at I-68. So that's been very intentional up to this point. Now that we're pivoting out of retirement, now it's time to scale. It's time to use that foundation that we've built the last 8 years and build momentum. And so far in this year, we've built a lot of momentum. It's not just for our customers or clients or whoever, but it's also our team. Like that brand, you know, we're building relationships with people so they give us money for a service because of our brand. That's right. Also, down and in with our team, they're buying into your brand. And one, picking the right people, and two, training them, mentoring them, having them believe in your brand, I think it's just as important or even more important than to put out into the public. Because like AP said, there's going to be people that is right for your company, and some people, they go somewhere else. The market's big enough for everybody. So from my perspective, developing my team to live the brand, we're all ambassadors of our brand. And then if they fail, it's my fault.
I kind of have a bone to pick with Mark, a facetious bone. I don't want to end up with a round in the old forehead, but, you know, I got a bone to pick with Mark. I feel like Mark is being too generous. I feel like Mark is diluting his brand around the people around him. I know, team, best friend, military, brothers in arms, all that great stuff. There's a time and place for that.
Yes, I understand that. Like I am the face of my company, and yes, the personal brand. I also want to bring in my instructors as well. Like as part of them. So I'm starting to post more with their faces on the company pages, not just me teaching, but them as well. Is that? I mean, we're talking about personal brand, but the brand of the company is look at all these awesome instructors we have.
People are doing business with Mark because of Mark, but he's diluting the power of his brand, the true strength of his brand, because he is suffering from servant's heart syndrome. I am getting up in the morning. What can I do for everybody else? What can I do for my clients? What can I do for my instructors? What can I do for my family? The problem with servant's heart syndrome is it ain't about you.
You're the brand. The brand is Green Beret, retires on Friday, helps you stay safer and protect your family. Right? Like, that's the story.
I do. I really appreciate it. Thanks for challenging me, because that's hard for me. That's hard for me, honestly. But no, I really no. And you're all.
If it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
Yeah, I agree.
The work you do on your personality development is directly related to your business development. If you haven't developed in personality in your personal development, in the work that you need to do on you, your business isn't going to go forward.
No. So OpenAI tomorrow will release their third agent. They released 2 this week, Deep Research and Operator, and they're really trying to hit it hard with like personality layers and inference and fine tuning and a lot of the stuff that we're working on.
I haven't really been informed enough about the granular level. So the brand is working on an ethereal level, but it's not right there at the grounding level, in my opinion, right now. And I feel like Corey needs to bring it down to earth. And he may be comfortable with it out in space, but if he really wants to make this thing go, he's got to make it pop on an everyday user level.
We're ready to do a soft launch of our version 1 of our technology, kind of a soft closed alpha, if you will. We anticipate up to 500 users. We'll get some great data. Got some exciting partnerships brewing.
He's not speaking to all of his users, who they are. He's speaking to his developers, and they understand it. His business partners understand it. His investors understand it, because they speak at that level. But consumers and operators, we don't speak that language.
So I think the only way I can competently answer your question of how is this going to serve kind of our end user, being the human that comes to loving is to use it, is this intelligence and this process seems to have, humanity and the individual humans in its best interest. And so letting it do its thing, conceptually is going to help every person in humanity. So, and again, it's, if not, then I don't know what can be done anyways.
I feel like Corey needs to bring it to a level of, he says it's going to change humanity. Tell me how. Stop telling me it's going to change humanity. Tell me how. It's divine intelligence. It's there. Fine. Okay. You want to be one of the apostles? Awesome. Give me a rendition of what Jesus did. Tell me. Walk me through it. Give me one story about how it changed. Stop saying 4 words of a story and then just veering off into the, it's just going to be great. Give me a gospel, right? Give me how about this? Give me a white paper, a 1-pager.
Next time on Boardroom Battleground.
I have to have some way to protect myself, to protect my kids.
The game gets sharper. The stakes, they get higher.
Try to break stuff and put it back together.
It's not about being the best.
Don't buy a house, buy a deal.
It's about staying ahead.
I need to work on that.
Who's going to outrun the pack? Who's going to fall behind?
The buck stops with you.
Today, our contestants showed up. They dug deep, refined their brands, and for the first time, some of them really started to own who they are.
It's emotional. It's vulnerable. It's also the key to building a business people actually remember. And for some, this episode was a turning point.
But clarity of identity is only part of the equation. Next week, we shift the lens outward.
It's all about knowing the field, what your competitors are doing, and what they're missing, how to turn that into your edge.
They'll learn how to spot gaps, gather intel, and position their business like pros. Because smart competition isn't about louder, it's about smart.
One brand, one space, one single chance to stand apart. Let's see who's ready to play the long game next time on Boardroom Battleground.